So today I wanted to talk about how obsessing over your ambition can rob you of the beauty of living. And I'd say that this also ties into the importance of moderation, which is essential in almost every aspect of life. And I mean this to say that it's not a bad thing to have ambition or to have goals in your life because, we need goals and things to strive for, and without it, we just be living aimlessly. But obsessing over your ambition and letting it define you causes you to disregard every other aspect of your life, and it robs you of that time that you could just take a step back to appreciate where you are in the present moment and the beauty of life in itself. And we need to think more about the point of life and the purpose of our ambition and the purpose of our goals in the bigger picture. Because life essentially is an experience, and we only get one time to experience life. And with that, we shouldn't spend too much of that time obsessing over our ambitions or spending so much of that time locked in, which creates a certain type of tunnel vision that seemingly leads nowhere. And I'm not saying that your goals don't have any meaning, but it shouldn't be your be all end all in life. And that's why moderation is important. It's key to have a balance in life, especially when it comes to chasing your dreams. Everyone talks about locking in and chasing their dreams like it's supposed to be a grueling and stressful experience, but that's not true. I feel like you can have fun and enjoy yourself while chasing your goals and ambitions in life. And with that, I just want to say that the process is more important than the end goal, in my opinion. I feel like the goal is just a cherry on top. What you're really after is the character building and experience that you get from growing and from developing yourself throughout the process. And I feel like that's what matters most in life. And, also prioritizing spending time with your loved ones as well, because we only get so much time with them in our lives. And that's one thing that I've been keeping in mind recently as well. Like really thinking about, do I spend enough time with my family and friends, or am I just, too isolated, or spending too much time worrying over materialistic things like my goals? And I was watching an analysis on the Disney movie that I'm sure a lot of people have seen, Soul, and it did really help me to reflect not only on the protagonist's pursuit of his goals, but also how it led him to take everything else in his life for granted. And from this, I realized that we need to take more time to appreciate the mundane parts of our lives, just the boring everyday, and to be more present within these moments, especially now with social media, which is selling a pseudo standard for life, which is over glamorized and isn't realistic for the everyday person. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with life being mundane or a bit boring at times. And it's good to chase your dreams and to grind and to lock in, because that's necessary to get you to where you want to go. It requires work and have to put that work in. But it's also necessary that you don't get wrapped up in it too much, that later in life you start regretting not taking in the experience of life a little bit more, or taking in the present moment a little bit more.